currently bringing in, and it says 0.3 amps because I'm pointing it away from the sun. If I was pointing it towards the sun, it'd probably be 5 or 6 amps right now. Now that we've turned the panel around to face the sun, let's have a look at how many more amps it's pulling in. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We're pulling in about 6 amps, which is actually pretty good. The highest I've ever seen it was 6.2. When it's been really cloudy, it's usually about 0.5. So 6 amps is actually very good. It's more amps pulling in than we are going out. So right now, our batteries are charging.
So we've been full-time on the road now for almost 3 years, and we've really only boondocked about a handful of times, which is one of the big reasons why we never bought solar earlier. A number of reasons for that. One is we really mostly stay hooked up in campgrounds. So really, solar was a big investment, and we didn't want to be spending thousands of dollars on a full solar array. In addition, our coach is right up against the legal and safe weight limit, so we didn't want to be adding extra solar panels and extra batteries to be able to hold the power from a solar setup. We reached a point where we thought a portable solar 100-watt panel is just going to be ideal for our needs.
So as Julie said, we're mostly going to be in campgrounds, but when we boondock, we have an RV that has fairly low needs for electricity. We have a propane fridge, we have propane water heater, propane stovetop, and a propane furnace. So our batteries really just need to power a few LED lights in the evening and charge our laptops and cell phones and other small electronics like that. So we don't have a big needs for electricity. Now 100 watts is great for us. Some people might need even less, maybe a 60 watt, but people that have a residential refrigerator or watch a lot of television or have a lot of other high draw electric needs, they would need a lot more solar than this. That said, this solar panel could still be a great accompaniment for a permanent installation because when you do a permanent installation, it's usually on the roof and you have to wait for the sun to come up really high before it can start hitting that solar on the rooftop. Whereas these portable units, you can point them directly at the early morning sun and the late evening sun, and if there's a tree, you can move the solar panel out from underneath it. Now with a 10-foot cord, you can't get too crazy moving it around, but it is nice to have a little bit of extra variability in capturing the early and late sun.
And this is the third time we've used this solar panel now in about the last month. The actual solar suitcase itself is great. It's super easy, plug and play, but the instructions left a bit to be desired.
Yeah, I was actually pretty disappointed in that because I'm one of the kind of people that when I receive a product, I like to read the whole instructions to get really familiar with it before I use it so I don't risk damaging it. There was a little pamphlet that said, we don't send instruction booklets with these portable units anymore. Check us out online to learn how to use your panel. When I went online, I got even more confused because when I looked up the 100-watt solar panel, it referenced a completely different solar controller, and it was very confusing to me. So as a new solar consumer, I thought that was a bad experience when I was looking on the internet and couldn't find any information that didn't make me more confused. So I actually called them, and what was interesting is when I called them, I realized just how simple this is. All you do is just take it out of the box, plug it into your battery, because our batteries are flooded batteries, which is what it comes defaulted to. So it was super simple, and it would have been great to have a simple one sheet that said those few things. If you have a flooded battery, just plug it into your batteries and you're good to go. If you don't have a flooded battery, this is how you change to the type of battery that you have. So that was my biggest complaint about the product, is I thought the instructions were kind of bad, but we've been very happy with it. It's been doing exactly what we hoped for. It provides us the power to keep our batteries charged up for our lights and for our small electronics. Now, we didn't have the goal of having this solar completely replace our generator and other sources. We just wanted to dramatically reduce the time we use our generator. We were boondocking in Quartzsite recently, and it was kind of cold weather, and we needed to run our generator a lot to be able to power up our batteries for the furnace and for some of our electronics to cook some more meals. And we ended up having to run our generator 3 and 4, sometimes even 5 hours a day. And it's a big, very thirsty with fuel economy generator. So we spent a half tank of fuel in our RV. That was about 35-40 gallons of fuel in 2 weeks, just basically charging up batteries, where if we had a solar setup, we would have dramatically reduced that, which helps pay for the cost of the solar really quick.
So now that we're starting to do a lot more boondocking, it just made sense for us to get a little bit of solar to meet our basic needs of keeping our coach batteries, lights, electronics charged up. We consider this kind of the gateway drug to solar. I'm sure that now that we've got this and we're experiencing the joys that getting power directly from the sun brings, we'll probably be looking at a bigger solar array sometime down the track, but probably not in the RV we currently have now. I think because of the space and the weight limitations of our RV, we don't really have enough to add extra batteries. So I think for now, this portable solution is going to be just enough for what we need, but it's definitely given us a great taste for solar power. And so in our next RV, we'll definitely be more interested in upgrading to a larger solar system.
Yeah, and that weight capacity that Julie's mentioning, that's a big deal because solar panels can weigh 20 and 30 pounds a piece, and you put a whole bunch of those on the roof. That's only part of the problem. When you do a bigger installation, you're going to want to have a large battery bank. And those batteries can weigh anywhere from 60 to 150 pounds a piece. And so you put 4, 6, or 8 of those batteries in your RV, that's hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And like we were saying earlier, this kit is only 20 pounds.
So super happy with it so far in the month that we've had it. We did attend an RV rally in Phoenix, Arizona recently, and all of the coaches were parked in pretty tightly, but at least we had good access to the sun. But we were out all day attending the RV show and going to seminars, so it was going to be unattended. We were able to take a bicycle lock and loop it around the steps of the coach and onto the solar panel, so it actually kept it affixed to the RV and safe from the risk of being stolen. So we consider the Enegy Solar Suitcase a really great way to get your feet wet and to get started with solar. We know people who have invested thousands of dollars setting their RV up with a solar solution, only to find that A, they didn't really like boondocking, they much preferred staying in campgrounds with hookups, and B, their choice of RV didn't actually work out and they ended up switching it out.
Right.
But for anybody that's wanting to try solar out, this is a really fantastic portable and affordable way to do it. And even if you do end up deciding you want to do more boondocking and invest in a greater solar setup, you can always still use the portable panel to maximize the rays during the day.
So overall, we've been very happy with our 100-watt solar panel. It was around $400 when we bought it on Amazon Prime, and that was in March of 2017. For us, that $400 has been a really good investment because we know that the reduced time in our generator, it's going to end up paying for itself financially, let alone having the advantage of not having the smell and the noise of our generator. So we've been really happy with this because it's really light, portable, and we love that everything's all included in its own little suitcase. Now you could probably buy some of these components, and if you're really technical, you could probably get a controller and get the junctions and put it all together.